watching. What a great player he was. Wouldn't have been happy with that. Presume he's an Eagles supporter. Oh, Halpin runs to 50. That's a beautiful kick. Satanta right on the line. I think it's okay. Goal to Carlton.
Well, I reckon he's developing into a classy type forward, Halpin, and he still looks a little bit untoward at times, but his kicking efficiency's improved. I watched him during the warm-up. He was having kicks from around the 40 to 50 area, and he was slotting most of those through. So he's become their #1 target in the forward line this year, and he hasn't let them down. He had a quiet weekend last weekend.
Didn't have a kick against the Hawks last weekend. It's his first goal against the Eagles as his 4th match. So
free kick. Play out of zone for prohibited contact. Mark's there.
And heard the reason. So Cruiser gets a free kick out of the centre. So the Blues with the first couple of goals. Hearn, good mark, unopposed.
Play on.
Well, jeez. Cut off by Garlett. And then Carazzo wide, searching. McLean. Good kick, McLean. Henderson had a crack. And Robertson. Yep, it's a goal. And you were right, Tim. They are switched on. Not sure about the opposition, though.
Well, they're just showing too much speed. They were slowed down last week by Hawthorn, but at the early stage of this game, their ball movement has just been too swift for the Eagles. And we see Henderson flew for the mark, unable to go, but then it was Robinson that grabbed control of the ball. And Carlton, and it's an amazing stat, but Carlton are the #1 side in the competition for actually kicking goals from inside the 15 metres. So they actually do kick the ball deep, and they've had players that had the speed and the agility and the know-how to get to those crumbs and finish it off. I really like this bloke. There's some problems with the way he plays at times. He gets a little bit over-anxious, but he's aggressive. He brings a lot of energy to the game, and they just look so much better when he's in their team.
The margin is 18 points then. Cox was up, won it on the way down. Judd stripped of the football. Prittis, well done. Found his way through. Kicked forward there by Selwood. Down towards half forward. Strong by Anderson. Kicked forward though. Towards half forward by Waters. Has an opportunity behind the pack for Russell. The combination worked very good. Cruiser slips a hand pass away. Walker back to Russell. Russell, the long kick out wide. Garlett. He's 52 metres out, Garlett. Too clever by half. Hard to get it down there. Hearn, the pass intended for O'Halpin. Hearn comes wide to Selwood. Wilkes out of the back pocket. Nanakoski plays on immediately. Ebert, the defensive side of the wing, gives it to Lacroix. Immediately after that last goal, the West Coast Eagle runner dashed out on the ground as Lynch spills the ball across the boundary. I think he was delivering some technical advice. If I could lip read, he said the game has started.
Yeah, they've been flat, haven't they? And the Blues have been on their toes. Cox wins the tap. Hadley to Brown to Gibbs. Confident kick by Gibbs to Russell.
He's been good, Hadley. Already 2 clearances. He's playing on Prittis, but he's just taking the space that Prittis wants to occupy, playing inside him, and he's been really good.
So Betts looking for McLean, but it's a poor kick, and Waters gets back. They missed Waters over the last couple of years. He's played not much footy. Had the big elbow dislocation. Nikoski.
Good kick.
Yeah, that is a good kick. And Kennedy on the lead.
You just wonder why no Carlton player occupied that space, because it was a dangerous space. It was the space that was open for the kick to go to, but it was just a wonderful kick, and a quick kick too. Outside 50, inside 50, and that's been a problem for them all year, the West Coast Eagles, finding those marking targets inside 50, although their last month has been a lot better than their first 5 weeks of the season.
It's been very accurate from set shots, Kennedy, so that puts the pressure on him. 17 goals, 3 so far this year. That stuttering run up, he struck it beautifully, so I reckon that's good. Judd got the first for Carlton, Kennedy gets the first for West Coast. It's a win-win, that one, wasn't it, in the end, Judd and Kennedy?
Well, the Blues would have loved to have had Bernardo get him back at some stage, but he's definitely an Eagle and he's staying there.
That's having your cake and eating it too.
That is true, but that is one of the more unusual approaches in terms of run-up. Richo's down there. I know he watched Kennedy's break. We'll get run-up. We'll get to him shortly. But he's becoming one of the elite marking forwards in the competition, Kendi.
Just looking at the centre bounce now, McLean and Hadley are in there. It's a new look centre bounce lineup than they've had in the last few weeks, just giving them even more rotation and more options. They look too strong in the middle, the Blues.
A couple of tougher guys to last week where they were found wanting. Murphy, tough but small, goes after the football. I think that's Swift under the pack. He'll get the free kick, or is it Rosa? It's Rosa alongside the centre circles. Too high was the call. He goes down towards half forward, turning around. Selwood takes the mark, plays on immediately, goes looking for the lead from McKinley, and that's almost a very good mark, not paid. Chain of hand passes bring it away. The small guys, McLean gave it to Murphy, then Gibbs, and kicked around the other side by Scotland. Garlett dragged off it. Butler almost waiting to be tackled there. Drives it back towards half forward. In best position, strong mark Gibbs. His dad is star in the WAFL, of course. Ross Gibbs with West Perth and later Glenelg. Played the bulk of his football in South Australia. Terrific high mark, his dad. Short to Russell.
Gee, I'm enjoying your colour today, Dan. You're meandering us through some lovely history. It's good stuff. Here's Gibbs.
Talking to Perth people.
Oh, I know. Out wide. I remember Ross Gibbs well at Glenelg in South Australia.
Couldn't he take a mark?
He sure could. Just a little guy, wasn't he? But he could stand on a head.
Play on.
McLean. Oh, that's an awful kick, isn't it? To Hadley. Back to Murphy. Gang tackle McLean. So West Coast doing a little better here. Ebert. Back to Cruz. A little gift to Anderson. And that knew he came from, well, he can come from nowhere. And then Cruz's kick. Cut off. Not marked, though, by McCoskey. Butler.
They're out here.
Let's see if they can use it. McKinley, it's a shocking kick. Well, we talk a lot about missing targets for the Eagles. Now Gibbs. And that was cute. And he found Walker.
Walker was in terrific form before he injured that shoulder. Goes across the ground. Thornton's got it now. Anderson is running. His dad used to play for West Perth too, but I won't bore you with that.
No,
Anderson's got it.
Us. I'm
right
enjoying
half back goes in short. Tumbling mark is taken there by Hadley. I think they started bandaging that right knee at about 9 this morning. He goes in short. Carazzo, Scotland, Robinson. High ball inside the forward 50, off hands. Capped in front, Ebert did brilliantly. Slipped a hand pass to Schofield. Schofield gets it across to Selwood. Selwood having a fine season comes to Waters. Beau Waters, forward of right half back. Kicks it down towards half forward. That's a nice kick. Prittis going back. Cruiser did brilliantly. Knocked it down to his own advantage. Gave it to Walker. Feeds it back to Thornton.
It was a slow kick, though. Kennedy had already led up the ground, and the kick should have gone to him first. They could have kept the ball moving had it gone to him.
So the Blues getting it out to that fat side. Jamison to Scotland. Normally a good kick, Scotland. He's found the skipper 50 metres away. Every time he goes through the footy, it's a mighty roar from the Blue fans, doesn't he?
He's working Selwood over. He's running hard up and down the ground.
Maybe a few Eagles fans still give him a cheer or two. Here's Hadley.
Play on.
So Hadley kicks to half forward. Not good. Wilkes. Back to Rosa. Now Embley. This is where Embley's usually at his best with run and carry. Trying to size up the situation. It's a good kick, actually. Cox couldn't quite get a crack at it. Russell did really well. Undersized, but he kept his feet and stopped Cox. And now in the back half, it's Murphy with a long ball.
Betts takes the mark on the other side. Looks inside. There's Simpson. Just noticed Scott Selwood having trouble keeping up with Judd at the moment. That's a beautiful kick into the path of O'Halpin going back. And he's marked about 10 metres out. That's a strange matchup, Scott Selwood against Judd.
That is a magnificent kick, though, to his favourite side. And he has learned in the space of a week, O'Halpin. We saw him on 2 occasions last weekend. Players just getting a little bit willing there on 2 occasions last weekend when he was within 15 metres actually playing on O'Halpin, particularly one in the third quarter when Carlton had the run on too. On this occasion, just put the ball up in the air and said, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going back to have a shot for goal.
Seen him play some good footy this season, Satanta. Spring in his step, and he comes. Jabs it through. He's got his second. Carlton have got their fourth, and they've got a handy lead.
Well, it's the first time in about 2 or 3 minutes of football where either side has been able to find a target inside their 50 and move the ball with any cohesion whatsoever. This is just a beautiful kick from Simpson, who's an outstanding player. I thought he was one of their best players last weekend against the Hawks too. Really busy. He's only small in stature, but he's a really physical player. He gives them a lot of energy as well, but O'Halpin just holding the ball up then, learning from that mistake. I reckon he's probably been over the highlight package a couple of times from last weekend too.